All right, Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahaba Kakadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for who know well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And this lesson is on this video that you see in front of you. I saw on one of the brothers' pages, Rawai La Yasha Allah Yahweh Shai is coming back, 144K. And, it just shows you more Esau's wickedness and evil that he has perpetrated and committed on the children of Israel. Okay, especially the so-called Negroes, well, all the tribes. But this is particularly speaking about the so-called Negro, which is a tribe of Judah here in America. All right. You have Esau. He basically took over a whole town, and he tried to wipe the memory and the history of the children of Israel that's living in this community. Now, this community that spoken about is one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest community in Georgia. So check it out.
Racist past. Facing its race of more than 1,000 Black residents from Forsyth County. Brittany Keefe shows you how the richest county in Georgia is now facing its racist past.
It is hidden in a narrow patch of forest between rows of $500,000 homes. Even looking straight down, nothing betrays the mystery of what lies beneath. These tombstones are all that's left of the old Black Baptist Church at Stony Point. Look closely at the dates. Why do they all end before 1912? This is not evidence of promises broken, but of loved ones kept away, because the men, women, and children buried here were the only Black residents of Forsyth County, Georgia, for nearly all of the 20th century.
All of the Negro people had to leave. There was knocking on the door, and they were told to get out.
Elon Osby heard the story directly from her own mother, Willie Mae Bagley, just a 2-year-old back in 1912 when the Night Riders came to their home and so many others in Forsyth County.
Can you imagine the fear that they would have felt?
William and Ida Bagley paid taxes on 60 acres they owned in 1912. We could find no record of any sale in the county courthouse except those of white men later selling parcels of the Bagleys' land to one another. The 1910 census showed the Bagleys among 1,098 Black residents of the county, a tenth of the total population. By 1920, nearly every last one of them was gone.
There are these long stretches where deputy.
Yeah, so you see how Esau basically took Jake's property, and that's what this man does. This is all, it was all hidden. And that's why, we brought this out in the last video we did concerning Black Wall Street, how shameful spewing is going to be on Esau's, his glory. All right. When you look up that for shameful spewing, all right, it's in Habakkuk 2:16. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." And this is a beginning of that. Esau being exposed for the wickedness he has done. Here it is, this town that belonged to Israelites, chiefly the tribe of Judah, just trying to live, trying to survive and manage to live after slavery. They basically was pushed out by Edomites and even probably killed. Well, some of them were killed, and they're gonna go into it, but killed by these Edomites, and they basically erase our past, and that's what they seek to do in everything. That's why you have in some schools, they're taking out slavery out of the Bible. And this generation that's here today, they could care less about what happened in the past, but what happens in the past affects the present and the future. Okay? And that's why the Lord required, let me get that. The Lord required that which is past. Mm, Um, let me get it. See, Esau tried to change the story. Esau tried to change the story and control the narrative. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which hath been is now, and that which shall be hath, let me read that again. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High require that which is past, man. So the Lord required the next and enemies of our people of old, man. And these Edomite children, they still live in that land. They still living on that property. And America in itself is stolen land. And again, this is shameful spewing on you Edomites because you tried to hide this. Here it is, you stole Israelites' land. You stole this man's 60 acres of land, and then you sold it to whoever you wanted to sell it to, mainly other Edomites, so that you could get a profit. You can gain a profit. Well, that's how America was established. You see? And I was sitting here saying to myself, like, if Esau is not the white man, who is? Because what other nation deals with our people with such hatred and visceral hatred? What other nation? Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Right, because that's all America is full of, lies and robbery. And who are the prey? The Israelites. We're still here. We haven't departed. And we still suffering the consequences of what happened to us at the hardcore slavery. Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. That's how Esau was able to build his economy. That's how Esau was able to build his wealth, his communities today. That they wholeheartedly keep so-called Negroes out, man. But the land that you built your house on is drenched with the blood of Israel. Okay? And you got our people as well as the other nations, even Esau, Edom himself, trying to refute the fact that they are the Edomites. Who are these people? Like I said in the last video, the people that did this, they weren't super elite. They were your average, run-of-the-mill Edomites. Okay? Let me see. They showed that your average run-of-the-mill Edomites, man. And Masons at that. You know? That did what? That pushed our people out of that land so they could take it over. And then they can build a prideful ancestry on that land. And their children can grow up today and say, oh, my grandfather worked for this land. He earned this. He did that. But in reality, he stole it. America, this whole country, North America, and Canada, and all the whole world, man, you Edomites stole it. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right. The Most High gave it to you, but in order for you to get it, you had to steal it. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So even Job was being sarcastic when he was saying, like, look, if he ain't the devil, then who is? If Esau is not the wicked, the third part of man, then who is? Because no other people are ruling this world. No other people are running this nation. No other people are grinding the earth into the ground, man. No other people is oppressing the children of Israel like you Edomites oppressors.
There are these long stretches where decade after decade, the black population in Forsyth County is zero.
Historical photos show only white faces after 1912. So what happened that year? Thousands turned out to celebrate the public year.
It says Negroes flee Forsyth, and enraged white people are driving blacks from county. And that's hatred. You can't tell me this man don't have a visceral hatred for you, man. For us. Okay? This is the hatred that Esau had for his brother Jacob, and that hatred is still inside of this man's people. It has not gone anywhere. Even to this day, January 6, 2021, year of the coming of the hastening the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. All right. This is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, which is an everlasting, never-ending hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So these Edomites, when the kingdom of heaven is established on this earth, they're going to get it, man. They're going to get it. They're going to be chased out of the earth, because in reality, everything that they have is stolen property. It does not belong to them. It wasn't given to them by the Lord as an inheritance, but they had to steal it. John 10:10. It says, the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Right? And who's the thief? Esau, Edom. And all he does is steal and kill and destroy. But Yahweh Shai came so that we, as the Israelites, may have what? That we might have life, and that we might have it more abundantly. Because when Yahweh Shai establishes the kingdom of heaven, guess what? The Israelites are going to have life more abundantly. And you Edomites, you're going to be taken out of power. Okay, you're nothing. All of you are accessories to murder. All you are accessory to robbery, thievery, burglary. You know, you break the laws of Yahweh Shai. You don't reverence the Lord in any type of capacity. Even when you call yourself being a so-called Christian, guess what? All these men, all these evil Edomites, these were Christians, man. These were Christians who instilled what? Hatred for the Israelites, man. Couldn't stand seeing us having anything. Okay? So that they took it. If they didn't take it until they owned, they burnt it to the ground so that they can erase your memory out of the earth, man. And that's what they all been trying to do. These are Edomites, and their children are still here today.
Faces after 1912.
It says on October 12th, a terrible state of affairs exists among the Negroes of Forsyth County just now. The recent outrages committed upon the white woman in a county have so enraged the white people. Yeah, and there was always their excuse for ransacking and destroying and murdering our people was, oh, a white woman was raped by a so-called black man, or a group of so-called black men. That shit wasn't happening like that back then. And then they gave these Edomite men, they gave them the right to be what? Become what? Judge. They gave them the right to become what? Judge, jury, and executioner, man. Meanwhile, they could go to church, have picnics on land. These motherfuckers are sitting on stolen property, taking pictures and enjoying life, enjoying a sunny, beautiful day and a sandwich. But in order for them to achieve this, they had to first destroy our people. It wasn't enough that they put us in hardcore slavery and robbed and raped and destroyed us and made us forget who we were. Okay? It wasn't enough for them to do that. If they seen any pocket of contentment or happiness and joy, you Edomites you come down the street with your hatred, man. And then you come in like a little serpent, but then in the end, you show your teeth, man.
Historical photos show only white faces after 1912. So what happened that year? Thousands turned out to celebrate the public hanging of two black teenagers convicted in a single day by an all-white jury of raping and murdering a white girl named May Crow.
Yeah, no evidence, nothing, no real due process.
The other black suspect had already been lynched right here on the Cumming Courthouse Square.
The lynching of Rob Edwards involved a very large crowd gathering outside the jail, dragging him out of the jail, beating him with crowbars, dragging his body around town behind a wagon, and then eventually his corpse is hoisted to on a telegraph pole, and everyone in the crowd takes turns shooting into his body.
Just
You see?
across from the spot where Rob Edwards was lynched, Lady Justice faces history wearing her blindfold.
Yeah, because she's Lady Justice is blind to righteous judgment, man. All right? And these balances are unbalanced. They are abominable, unjust weights. Okay? This is Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men. Who are they? The wicked. Esau, Edom. They are not, neither are they plagued like other men. So they commit abominable acts, unrighteous acts, sin, transgressions, and they're not judged for it. But when Yahweh Shai comes, you're going to get judged for it, for everything you've done to us and against the Lord's people. And shit, even these other nations going to get on your ass. But fuck them. We talking about our people. Because there's never been any redress, proper redress or recompense for what was done to us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the children of Israel. Psalm 73 and 6. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, like this never happened. The fact that all you Edomites, you took it. This Edomite, so-called white woman's life was so precious that it wasn't enough that you hung them, murdered them in the front and with the help of thousands. But then what you do, you let everybody take a pop shot at this man's body, right? You drug him around town, body parts falling off, skin falling off him. That was the judgment that you Edomites gave, and then you walked away and raised your families for generations, man. And that's why we try to tell Jake, Jake meaning the Israelites here, you got an affinity for this devil, but his hatred has not gone anywhere. The hatred, these Edomites hate us. They love to see us in a servitile space. If we not entertaining them, we non-existent to them, just like our plight is. Why? Because they speak lawfully concerning oppression. They speak wickedly. They speak lawfully. They're not in trouble like them. They've never experienced what we've gone through, but they're about to. The whole nation of Edom, you're gonna suffer for what your forefathers did because you are your forefathers. It's Proverbs 17 and 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. And when you read this in the Young's Little Translation, whoso is covering transgression is seeking love. And that's what Esau like to do. Oh, I love you, brother. My fellow Christian brother. And our people fall for that shit. You hug the same cops that beat the shit out of you, throw you in prison, and you ain't even commit a crime. But that's what this devil is doing. He's trying to seek love. But he never loved you. What was all this Christian love, this evangelical love that you Edomites and you so-called Christians like to push out? Where was all that when this kind of shit was happening? Where was all that when justice turned a blind eye to what we were going through? You feel me? And then these devils got to need a nerve. They got the nerve. Salaki. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened. Salaki. So all this man's life was added up to this.
Wearing her blindfold, but soil from the square has been collected in a jar, and the name Rob Edwards will soon join the lynching memorial at the Equal Justice Initiative.
Yeah, so they got a lynching memorial, and they just put a bunch of dirt in jars with Jake names on it, as if that's gonna be recompensing for what you done to us. But nah, Jack, that's not how this thing works, man. You Edomites are gonna get what you did to us because it's scriptural, and it's righteous. This is Numbers 33 and 35. Might be 35, 33. 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So in order to clean this land, you Edomites, your blood is going to be shed on this land. And how's it going to be shed? Through nuclear fire, through the fire of the chariots, what you call UAPs or so-called UFOs, through the fire of the Lord's jealousy, through the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, through his son. You're going to pay for this, okay? This is what Jake amount to, a bunch of dirt in a jar, you know? But yet the families, the relatives, the generations of these families, they didn't inherit nothing. Everything was just taken away from them. But this also a proven point too, to show you that this place is not our rest. Micah 2:10. Read it. This place ain't our rest. Because if it was, none of this would happen. In the kingdom of heaven, nobody's going to take our property. Nobody's going to take our land. Nobody's going to take our heritage. But you Edomites, you got a long list to pay for. Obadiah 1:6. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right? Because this is a hidden thing. Nobody knew about this. Do you see how they had Jake? They got a town. They got a town, a wealthy town, the wealthiest town in Georgia. The wealthiest county in Georgia with $500,000 homes. And the majority of the people that's living in these homes are Edomites. But yet, on the same property that these houses are built are the bodies of Israelites buried in the ground with tombstones still sitting in the woods. You know, they all broken up and everything. You know, all right. It says somebody something what is this, Brown, B Brown, born September 27th, 1873, died in 1900. So this man was what, 7, Salakia, 18. So I think he's like almost 97 years old, this person. No, he wasn't 97. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. The point of the matter is that this person died, and this is the only remnants of the Jake that were living in that land. They're living on that land. And so you Edomites gonna pay for that, man. Just to bring this out. You know, shameful spewing is gonna be on your on your legacy, man, and then for your glory, because you're not gonna go down in history as a glorified man. You're gonna go down in history as a shameful man that you are, an Edomite. And so with that, I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Shai Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. And salutations to my fellow Ak, and keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Hey, Shalom.